What's up guys, Random Razor here with another product review video for you guys today, and today we're going to check out this high-end premium umbrella from HedgeHog. HedgeHog is relatively a new Canadian company that was founded by automotive engineers who wanted to redesign the umbrella to design something that's wind resistant by not redesigning the canopy, which a lot of companies focus on, but redesign the rib system that holds the umbrella together, including the canopy. And one of the coolest features about this umbrella is that you can actually change the canopy on your umbrella. So let's say you accidentally rip it or damage it when you're carrying your umbrella around, or get it caught in a branch or something. You can change the canopy without having to buy a whole new umbrella. So let's pop this open and see what we get. So the model that I got here is the black model, and they only have just one umbrella. You have a little thank you card here, and the label here says that these umbrellas are rated for up to 70 miles per hour, which is super surprising for me because the Gustbusters that are reviewed a few years ago were rated for 50 miles per hour. So let's take the plastic off and then take the protective nylon cover off as well. And here it is, very compact, easy to carry. You have a single large strap to hold the canopy in place, a fairly comfortable rubberized grip with some black chrome on the top. Next we'll take this off and see how big this is. So here's a look at the inside of the umbrella, and the most highlighted feature is certainly the steel rib frame. And a good part of the rib system is actually made of carbon fiber, which is a stronger material than steel, and it also explains why it gives the rib frame here its extra strength to resist winds up to 70 miles per hour. The company just has one size umbrella. This is just a standard compact size umbrella. It is, I measured it at 40 inch, so it's a 40-inch canopy, which is fine for one person. You're going to be pushing it for two people, as you're likely going to have one side of you a little bit wet depending on how heavy the rain is. So you can see here, rather than trying to reinvent the canopy, this company decided to innovate the actual frame itself of the umbrella. So kind of a quick rundown on what the company states, what they did with the new umbrella frame here. Basically, they decided to use dual carbon fiber constructed members fused to ballistic grade polycarbonate joints, which supposedly delivers the strongest strength to weight ratio structure ever assembled in an umbrella. So that's a pretty bold statement. So the people who are behind this umbrella design are actually automotive engineers who wanted to apply the same techniques they use for automotive engineering into an umbrella. So they basically use kind of the technique behind automotive suspension systems by giving each of the ribs of the umbrella here to automatically adjust itself independently against winds. So with this umbrella being designed to automatically flex on its own, this gives it an aerodynamic stable structure which allows a wind to flow through the umbrella rather than against it. The second biggest feature of the umbrella has to be the interchangeable canopy design, which I thought was really cool. It's something that's not really unheard of. Most canopy designs or most canopies on umbrellas are tied into the frame, and once they rip or tear, you're kind of SOL, you have to buy a new umbrella. So this one here, you can change the canopy, and the company HedgeHog does provide a number of different colors as well as some patterns. And for those of you businesses out there, you can actually buy umbrellas and have your logo printed on them as well. So here's a look at a UV canopy model, which I thought was pretty cool. The nice thing about this white color here, it does a really good job at reflecting sunlight and such. So if you're caught in a thunderstorm or in a rain where it's really humid out, it's not going to help a whole lot, but certainly reflecting that sunlight is definitely going to make somewhat of a difference in regards to not getting you too hot. So to remove the umbrella, you just pop the tip off from the canopy, and then there's actually two Velcro straps, which you can see on the top here, that hold it in place, and you just remove that. There's another one on the top there, and the canopy goes off. So here's what the umbrella looks like without the canopy on, which is kind of weird, and you think it would be broken, but actually isn't. But anyways, just want to show you guys what the steel frame looks like without it on. You can see here it's a very robust frame. And again, there's carbon fiber ribs on the rib portion of the umbrella. And that's probably what gives the umbrella its extra strength to resist 70 mile per hour winds, is that carbon fiber, which is stronger than steel and also lighter than steel. So we'll just finish off putting on the new canopy. So now we have a new umbrella here with a white canopy and UV protection. A nice little added detail is that if you buy a new canopy for your umbrella or an additional one, you also get a matching sleeve. Okay, so you guys can kind of see here, this is the umbrella. And my experience with this umbrella, that it does invert like many other umbrellas do. The only one that hasn't done that is the Gust Buster, which I reviewed a few years ago. That being said, the rib system here is very well designed. It's durable, flexible, and even if the umbrella does invert, it won't damage the rib system, which is why many umbrellas fail in the wind. Not necessarily because of the canopy, but because the rib isn't designed to flex invertedly, if that made sense. So, and trying to get a good gust of wind here, see if I can get it to invert. But for the most part, it seems to be holding pretty well. So you can see here that the umbrella does invert. However, the rib system, which is designed to be flexible and durable, is not damaged. So we can just push it against the wind. Folds back no problem. You can see here the umbrella is not damaged. So that's one of the nice things about this umbrella, is that it is very flexible and is designed to be, which a lot of rib systems are not designed to be. Now this is a little bit different because I'm purposely pointing the umbrella against the wind, which means it's gonna invert. But if I normally hold it like this, and again it's kind of dark out, but this is the time of day where Mother Nature wanted to get a little rough. But basically, when you normally hold it up like so, it's not going to invert that much because the air is going to flow horizontally against the umbrella the way you're holding it, and with the flexibility of the umbrella, it makes it less likely to act as a sail. So that's pretty much how it works from the way I see it. Now, unlike golf umbrellas, these mobile, portable, compact umbrellas are the most susceptible to winds because they're lighter, smaller, and aren't built as strong as golf umbrellas. So we're back in the light here, and you can see the ribs aren't damaged whatsoever. Again, they're designed to be flexible, they're designed to be inverted, and the carbon fiber and high tensile steel that they use in this umbrella ensures that it's not going to break apart. And like the specs say, it's supposed to resist 70-mile-per-hour winds. So after using this for a couple months now, it's a pretty nice compact umbrella, something that's really nice to keep in the car or have with you in your bag or purse. And comparing this to a totes umbrella, which is a fairly reputable brand for umbrellas out there, this isn't something that feels cheap. It actually feels like a really nice sturdy umbrella. You can tell that the company put a lot of engineering effort into designing a very strong and reliable rib system. Parts of it are made of carbon fiber for added strength. The rest of it is, of course, mainly some sort of high tensile steel. And the fact that you can actually change the canopy is also a nice bonus. Maybe you get tired of the color, or if you just accidentally rip the canopy by hitting a branch or something, you can easily just buy the canopy without replacing the entire umbrella. But of course, like with any product I review, nothing is perfect. First off, this isn't a cheap umbrella either. It retails for $99 in Canada. It's probably going to be a little bit cheaper in the States when you do the conversion, since our dollar isn't as good as the American dollar. But in short, nonetheless, it's still a pretty expensive umbrella for what you get. Compact umbrellas like this, you could go to Walmart, buy a $20, $30 umbrella, which are not terrible umbrellas, but the fact of the matter is, they don't really do well in windstorms. So when you think about it, after a couple storms and your umbrella gets wrecked, you're going to be buying a new one anyway. So the more often you replace it, the more you realize, this in the end could be a little bit more cost effective. One little quirk I like about this umbrella is the fact that the tips here are covered up with this nylon material. So a lot of umbrellas usually have little tips sticking out. This isn't something that you're going to have to worry about poking someone's eye out. So that's nice that they were able to not just include an interchangeable canopy, but also cover the tips while maintaining that feature. The biggest thing, of course, with this umbrella is the wind resistance, and as you guys saw during that little test outside, the umbrella did actually invert. I will say the umbrella certainly held up a little bit better than a generic umbrella from Walmart or something. The umbrella felt a little bit more aerodynamic, so the wind blew right through it without causing it to invert, unless I pushed it against the wind, which you guys saw I did there, just to test how resistant it was. So even though the umbrella did invert during that test, which you guys saw, the rib system that they designed here is very well built because it didn't damage it in whatever way. Usually umbrellas, when they invert, you can get away with them inverting once or twice or 3 times before you notice that the ribs and stuff are bending and sorts. However, with this umbrella here, you can see the rib system is perfectly fine. It withstood the inversion, and it hasn't broken or anything like that. So a well-designed rib system. Now keep in mind the umbrella inverted because I did make the umbrella act as a sail so the wind could push against it just to see how it would react. Normally you're going to have your umbrella on top of your head, so the wind generally is going to blow across the umbrella rather than against it. And because this umbrella does a really good job at being aerodynamic, it reduces that chance of it inverting. Now at this point in the video, most of you are probably a little bit disappointed that the umbrella did invert. It didn't necessarily resist 70-mile-per-hour winds, but it certainly held up. It didn't break or anything. But here's a quick comparison. This is the Gustbuster umbrella that I reviewed a few years ago. A very well designed umbrella. The canopy is a two-piece design that isn't meant to invert. That being said, it's not very aerodynamic. So what happened was during a really bad windstorm, the canopy acted as a sail so strongly with the wind that it bent the rod here. So literally I was holding it and the whole canopy bent like this, which isn't a good thing because you just render this part broken. Now I bent it back and surprisingly it still works, but again, having canopy not invert is one thing, but you still have to measure up the other factors in the umbrella, the strength of the rib system as well as the stem here, but also making it aerodynamic so that it's not going to be too strong for a user to hold, which is what happened in my case. It bent the actual stem. So is this an umbrella I recommend? Well, the price of course is a bit of a turnoff for the average consumer, and the fact that the umbrella did invert during my little test there was a little bit disappointing. However, I am impressed with the build quality of the umbrella. The ribbed system designed by automotive engineers really held up without any sign of stress or breaking, and in the long run could be more cost effective than buying cheap umbrellas over time. In conclusion guys, if you feel like splurging on an umbrella that's not going to break on you the first time you take it out, you definitely can't go wrong with the HedgeHog umbrella. Anyways, thanks for watching guys, hope you enjoyed the video. Any questions or comments about the HedgeHog umbrella, let me know in the comment section there down below. Hit that like button as always helps me out, and I'll see you all in the next video.